In this video, I'm making loaded baked potatoes stuffed with savory ham, nutty Swiss cheese, and steamed broccoli, served with your choice of 2 sauces. Plus, this recipe is completely gluten-free. Hi, I'm Elizabeth, and on this channel, we'll start by cooking a meal together, and then at the end, we'll sit down and count carbs. I'd love for you to join me. Let's get started. Prep a potato for baking, wash well, puncture skin with a fork, and bake. There's more than one way to bake a potato: oven, microwave, air fryer. For time's sake, I'm using my microwave. Cut the broccoli florets into small bite-sized pieces. Place them in a bowl of water with about a teaspoon of salt and let them soak for 10 minutes. Then rinse well. The salty water helps pull out any dirt or tiny bugs hiding in the broccoli. It works through osmosis. Easy peasy. Chop up cheese into any shape. I'm using Swiss, but any cheese works. Your choice. For convenience, I'm using pre-cubed ham. Remove from package and rinse well. Fluff it up. Remove the baked potato from the microwave. Be careful, it is hot. Then, after rinsing the broccoli, add a tablespoon of unsalted tap water to your bowl. Cover, leaving a bit of a vented area, and heat using your microwave button options for steamed vegetables. I have made 2 separate sauce options. Each comes with its own flavor palette and, of course, carb values. The tahini sauce has a tangy base with nutty undertones, a bright citrusy flavor, and a hint of subtle sweetness. It's smooth, balanced, and totally spoon-worthy. Yogurt, tahini, maple syrup, lemon juice, garlic, parsley, salt and pepper. The sour cream horseradish sauce has a creamy, rich base layered with a sharp, pungent heat that builds quickly and lingers. Cool and velvety at first, then bold, punchy, and sinus-clearing, all while staying completely carb-free. Sour cream, horseradish, garlic, dill, and salt and pepper. Cut a baked potato in half. You can add butter and salt and pepper if you like. Top the potato with savory ham, cheese of your choice, I'm using Swiss, and steamed broccoli. Choose the topping sauce you would like. Here I'm drizzling on the tahini and yogurt sauce. This was an easy meal. No cooking required except for a microwave, filling and delicious. Enjoy. Before I begin the actual carb count, let me say that I am not a medical professional. I am just a human being who happens to wear my pancreas in my pocket. I also happen to have years of living with type 1 diabetes. I was diagnosed in 1964. If you do have a medical question, please consult your diabetic care team. Let's begin the carb count for the stuffed baked potatoes. There will be some math involved, but don't worry, it's not that hard. The serving of a potato had 45 grams of carbohydrates. The ham had 0, the Swiss cheese had 0, and the broccoli had 3 grams. If you add that up, that's 48 grams. Now, if you decide to serve this with the tahini sauce, the yogurt was 12.5 grams, the tahini sauce was 2 grams, the lemon juice was 1 gram, the maple syrup was 15 grams, and the garlic was 0 grams, and the dill, salt, and pepper were 0 grams. And that was the carb count for the whole entire volume of that sauce. That came out to 30. It served 3, and so you're going to divide 30 by 3, and you come out to 10. So 48 plus 10 is equal to 58 grams of carbohydrates per serving if you make this tahini sauce. Once you have your final carbohydrate count for your stuffed potato with the tahini sauce, you will need to divide this number by your carb ratio number. For instance, if I use my carb ratio of 1 to 15, 58 divided by 15 is equal to 3.9 units of insulin needed to keep my blood sugar within a normal range. If you decide to make your stuffed potato with the sour cream and horseradish sauce, the carb count for that, the sour cream was 1 gram of carbohydrate for the entire sauce that you made. The horseradish 0, the garlic was 0, and the parsley, salt, and pepper was 0. And if you divide that by 3, that's for the per serving, that comes out to 0.3 grams per serving. That's really negligible. I'm not even going to include that in the actual count. So you have the potatoes and the broccoli, Swiss cheese, and ham. That came out to 48 grams of carbohydrates per serving. You will need to divide this number by your carb ratio, and we're going to continue with my carb ratio of 1 to 15. So 48 divided by 15 is equal to 3.2 units of insulin needed to keep my blood sugar within a normal range. Happy carb counting, and remember, my fellow type 1s, counting carbs so our pancreas doesn't have to, one meal at a time.